Zurk. Zurk's a nice goblin character that I think is often overlooked. One of the nice benefits generally right now is that you can put together pretty good goblin teams, and there's a lot of synergies, a lot of passives that you can get, particularly from Chief Nubnub. You can get a 15, or when it's fully ascended, 25% buff to the health of every goblin on your team. And then also for Cruel King Bramble, you can get a buff to attack and skill, I believe, either skill or crit. And so you've got the 3 buffs going across the whole party, not to mention the other skills that each goblin has. So let's take a look at Zurk real quick. This is a farmable character, quite a few levels that you can farm for Zurk. You can get him or her early on. It's a goblin and warrior. Look at the stats. We've got critical exhaustion. So on any crit, you can lower the energy of that player. And caster hunter. And this is an interesting one. I don't know any other characters right now that are caster hunters. So you'll get, I believe, a ×2 damage multiplier against casters, which again fits in well with a goblin team to get some specialized characters. Overall, the stats are relatively low, but as I mentioned, you're going to get relatively large bonuses from those passives. And then there are further synergies when you get into, for example, Chief Nubnub's Stout team. It buffs the whole party regardless of element, but for nature element, the effects are doubled. So again, if you've got a nature element and goblin, you're going to get really high passive and active buffs that come into play. For the abilities, we've got the basic attack here at level 20. I was trying out that synergy team around level 20. And then Dragon Punch. Dragon Punch is a melee attack with decent damage that also does daze to the target. And daze is a very useful effect to have on the target. And here that's a fairly high percent as well. We see this as a 5-turn cooldown, which isn't too bad. It's fairly standard for a single person attack. With the next ascension, Zurk's going to get this multi-enemy attack. Starts off with one enemy, but as you raise up the skill level, you'll go to multiple enemies and increase the base damage. And then another handy one to have is this field dressing, so regenerating a little bit of health for each turn. And you can see I can already make this ascension, generally holding back on some of these things for units I'm not using, but it will be easy to get up to that point. You can see there's no higher level celestial evos needed at this point. So that's the summary for Zurk. Unfortunately, until you get to higher levels, there's not enough room to level everybody up, but I think Zurk would have a great role on an all-goblin team, and you could potentially try that out for PvP on offense as well. Defense is kind of a hard other animal on its own, but you could try an all-goblin team there. You could also, because you've got Chief Nubnub, one of the only 2 healers right now, or two characters that can heal the whole team with the team heal right now. You could have a very viable all-goblin campaign team as well.